Hey guys, this is Spark Plus Ultra here, and this is my new what if on what if Deku had Kabane powers. If you don't know this character, he's from Kimono Jihan. It's a really good anime, and it really reminds me of myself when I was a little kid. But sorry, Loch Ness, I cannot do Lizzie. I can get the picture and all that, but her backstory is a really pain in the ass to me. Because there really isn't that much to go on. Okay. Now let's get into the video. Izuku Midoriya was given to Uzumi's sister. Uzumi tells her sister to keep Izuku from and given a life necklace to Izuku for showing that he wasn't abandoned. But time went on. When he was a kid, he'd been bullied and been told that he was not a person to be with and in his village, and been said, and the whole village told him that he stank and all of the worst stuff. Even his foster mom did no holding back on this. She mentally abused Izuku in trying to not stir any talk or doing something wrong. But Izuku, when his cousin pushed him, there was a girder, I think, sewer girder. He saw nothing but no blood. He wasn't even moving. He ran away. But Izuku just came with no harm and nothing happened. His cousin, belittles him a bit, calling him Midoriya or Deku for belittling him. When Izuku was doing his job, putting rice, doing the garden, his cousin talks about with his friends that there's going to be a Tokyo person who is going to be staying there, and he's a little sort of cocky of it. But when he says, when goes to Deku, he just minorly insults him. Mostly on the little name thing, meaning useless. And when Mom brought the Tokyo, she was telling her about how the things are happening outside. And she says, Miss Ryoko Tatsuma, just call me. And she replies, just call me Ryoko. Oi, there are lots of deer around here. And the foster mom says, yeah, we always keep a count on how many and make sure how they're not injured. And they talk about saying, she says, it's really peaceful around here. Way better than I say. But when she kind of spooks the kids, and they just, and she was giggling and sees Deku when working. She says, hi, how is it too much? Is he getting there it is. Judging from the work ethic, and it was a hot day, she went to take a bath, and Izuku's cousin wanted to help her scrub her back, and serving her meal and her helping her. But this is more about going to Tokyo thing. When she asked to have Deku, they were surprised, especially foster mom and his cousin. When foster mom says, just don't do what your things, like, or she will hurt him again. And when Izuku brought her meal, Izuku tries to leave and says, excuse me. And Ryoko tells Izuku, wait, don't leave. I want to talk to you. And Izuku tells Ryoko that every people told him in the village that he smells all the rude things that I was saying, but Ryoko tells Izuku that it's fine if you smell. If you do try your best. And plus, males are that. So, I'm fine with you. And when Ryoko asks what time does this happen, and Izuku tells Ryoko that every time when he was in the full moon cleaning the piles of the chicken, and the chicken have been killed, and all fungus is all covered all over them. And he never seen anything like it each full moon. So, and Ryoko says, "Thanks for the information. It's always the quiet ones that tell you the best ones." And she says, "Every full moon, so that makes every 5 days." So, and when Kabane, when Deku was going to clean the patch, the water, the mud, she offered to help him out and do some detecting with him. And the foster mom asked her, "Why are you doing this?" And that she just explained it herself and said. And Deku's cousin was getting really ticked about him getting more favored over him. Which, if you ask me, it's sort of meaningless, because he does work in the place, and Deku done work in the sun. Like, what the heck, though? But when Ryoko asked about his necklace, and Izuku said it was when my mom abandoned me. All the people in the village said that, even my cousin. And Ryoko looks at this and says, you weren't abandoned. And Deku's shock and says, This was a life stone. It shows nobody gives this off to be abandoned. There's a reason. Maybe your mom wants you to be safe. And Izuku gives a smile. A unique smile. Like a smile that he never done that much. When at night he was waiting for her to both deal with this until Izuku's cousin tells him that don't be all cocky if that you're being spoiled to that, and says that you were nothing and you were abandoned. All the mean things. And Izuku says, I wasn't abandoned. And his cousin is ripping the necklace off of Izuku and saying, I'm getting rid of this thing once and for all. And he rips the necklace off, and Deku punched him. And when his cousin says, ow, stupid Deku, and sees his power, quirk, ghoul. This quirk allows him to have. The disadvantage of this is, well, seeing his true form when enraged. And Izuku was nearly reaching to kill. But when he stops himself, and his cousin, in fear, ran away in the woods, and Izuku grabs the life stone and cries, and Yoto found him and says, what's the matter? I'm the monster. Get me to put me in jail. Crying. And Ryoko saying, what? You're not a monster. I noticed that you had that power. It's the life stone that showed it. Cloaks, it gets rid of your medicine side. She shows Deku her dragon quirk. See? And Izuku was surprised in a way. And when Izuku realized that his cousin is out there running, getting into trouble. There was how can I say it? The devil deer. When Izuku and Ryoko chased to get him, there were 2 dead dogs that were bitten in the stomach. And they took them out easily. While Izuku's cousin was knocked out. And Yoto says those weren't the person. They were bitten. And hears the sound and sees the quirk user that was using it, that was doing it. It's been a while since and he was all going crazy and wanting to kill them without hesitation. Izuku and Ryoko both knocked him out in the head. And Ryoko got the villain and brings him to jail. But when Ryoko tells that your mother's sister wanted you gone, and she said that you were going to be dangerous, and Ryoko and says, "What is your name?" And says, "Izuku Midoriya." And she says, "You want to meet your family?" And Izuku smiles and says, "No." And cuts his head off. And shows the foster mom and gives the Izuku's cousin to and Izuku was brought into the car and hidden from the foster mom. And lied to, because she noticed that the quirk school allows Izuku to regenerate even when he's decapitated, and brings him to her agency. And they both, honestly, when Izuku was 14, she was giving him, they're both like mother and son relationship. Well, helping him study words and all, in making kanjis of his name. he still lacks the emotion to, well, express it. And that's all into this video. Hope you like this one.